Hello everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Lou and I'm going to be sharing with you why I think African parents make every effort to take their children to university. Okay, I mean, like, one day you can wake up and just tell your dad, like, "Daddy, I want to be a rapper," huh? And your dad is like, "Eh, in whose house? In who? You want to be doing rap music in my house?" Like, bro, chill, okay? I don't know. I feel like maybe I might be the next Beyonce. Maybe I might be the next, I don't know, Riri. But no, our parents don't see it that way. And so I have about 4 points that are going to help us understand why African parents take their kids to university. Number 1. So when we were colonized, Europeans were the ones who took over, basically. Okay, so they took over our land and they were in charge of things. And the Africans weren't happy about that because why are you taking our land? This is our land, okay? Why are you taking it? Why? Anyway, so when they took over, they changed a few things, a lot of things in Africa, which we weren't happy with. Well, like, our ancestors weren't happy with. We're still not happy with them, but okay. Okay. When they came here and took over stuff, they didn't want to make it obvious, even if it was, but okay. Okay. So they said stuff like, only the educated can take part in politics. They knew that Africans weren't educated. So for them, it was easy to just say, only people who are educated can take part in politics because, and their reason was like, since they've gotten education, they understand how things work, and so it would be easy for them to make decisions. Everybody agreed. Oh yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. Little did they know that Africans were on the losing side. They did not have formal education. And so when it came to things like voting, when it came to things like making suggestions or amendments to the law, Africans couldn't do that because they lacked formal education. Anything that they said, nah. That aggravated so many Africans. I'm picturing one of our great okay, I'm pushing it. One of our great grandfathers was sat there like, you know what? I need to take my children to school because we can't have these people step over us and make all the laws. I need to take my child to school so that they can also make decisions. And so that's the first point. I feel like that notion or that mentality has been passed on from generation to generation, okay? And so now, till this day, people, African parents will take their children to university or to school just so they can understand the systems of the country, just so they can be able to participate and actually make decisions that are going to be helpful to not only the family but the country at large. I feel like maybe that's why it's easier for people who are non-African to just go to their parents one day and say, mother, I don't want to go to school anymore. Mom's like, why? And you're like, I don't know, I just feel like maybe I don't identify as a student. I don't like identify as a pupil. And their parents are like, oh no, sweetie, don't worry. You can no longer go to school if you want. Okay. I don't know, maybe because they just can't relate to being rude. Like, nobody ever rude them, okay? Nobody ever colonized them, and if they did, it stopped way back. That they, like, they can't relate, okay? They can't relate to not having the right to vote. They can't relate to not having the ability to speak about the politics and economic development of your country. They can't relate to all those things. And so for them, formal education hasn't really been stressed like that. Like, it's not that important, you know, because their background doesn't, I don't know if you understand me, okay? I really don't, but that's what I think. That's what I think. The second reason I feel Africans take their kids to school is to break the racial barrier. Also, this is a mentality or a mindset that has been passed on from one generation to another, which can also be true in some countries. Just saying, okay? But anyway, there were times when a little after independence, when you go to, let's say, a bank, or you go to a government institution, and so you find this non-African attending to people, right? And when an African goes there to be attended to, let's say in a hospital, and you find this non-African doctor, and you go to him to ask for help, or to like tell him your problem so that he can help you and check up on you and whatever, because like he's a doctor, and he doesn't do it, okay? He literally segregates you and attends to the non-Africans, and he leaves all the Africans behind. Oh my goodness, bro, I am sick, okay? I might even kick the bucket. And you don't want to attend to me just because of my skin color? What? Again, in my head, I'm picturing our greatest great parents thinking, I need to make sure my daughter is a doctor. I need to make sure my son is a doctor just so he can attend to people of color, okay? I don't know. This is just me thinking. But yeah, so it was probably to make sure there is equality in banks, in hospitals, in wherever. The third reason is actually kind of interesting because I see it today. Since I've given you these two reasons, and so you have seen that education was very important, or is very important, and since most times non-Africans were the ones who were educated, it was like a prestigious thing to be African and educated, okay? It's like, wow, you are the only African doctor in the company of 20 non-African doctors, and so everybody's looking at you like, wow, oh my goodness. Anyway, so our great grandparents, maybe even our parents today, take their kids or their children to university because they just want that sense of prestige, okay? They just that sense of pride, sorry, they want that sense of pride to feel like, wow, I took my daughter to university, I took my son to university. Like, how many people have taken their children to university? Me? My kids, they're university. Don't play with them. Don't. Like, what? No. Me, don't play with my kids. Don't play with me. I took them to uni. And so there's that sense of pride and that feeling of achievement that comes with taking your children to school, like educating them. And we hear funny stories of how people back in the day would be beaten up just because they are boasting that their child is doing very well in school and that their child is a university student or something. And yeah, they'll be beaten up like, ah, you're talking too much now, you're being boastful, what. A little after gaining independence, there were so many opportunities for Africans to finally fill in positions of power, okay? Starting with being the president, being the prime minister, being a doctor, being a banker, being something, okay? Being something. So there were so many positions that were open, and Africans were like, African parents would encourage their children to go to university or to go to school just so they can fill those positions, right? Just so they can contribute because of the job security that was there. And they obviously got so much money for it. And their thinking was, okay, if this kid goes to university and fills in this position, they'll probably be getting something like maybe $200, and then please convert that to your currency. But just for understanding, I'm using dollars. So they'll probably get something like $200, and because they have that much money, they will help to fend for the family, or they're going to help to contribute to the family's needs, like buy food, pay for water, pay for electricity. Although I don't think they paid for stuff as much back in the day. Also, it was a ripple effect. So if your parents took you to university, to some extent, you were kind of obliged obliged to take your siblings to university as well, just so they could also have money and could also fend for themselves and just be independent, basically. But the real question is, why do African parents encourage their daughters and sons to study medicine? Okay, like there are those who are going to encourage you to go to school, great. But then why medicine? Like, why go to school and do medicine? Anyway, if you'd like to know my opinion on that, let me know in the comment section and I can do a second video on why African parents take their kids to university to study medicine, because that would be really interesting. I hope you like this video. Please give it a big thumbs up. And if you reached this far, comment flower. Put a flower emoji and I'll know that you are a real one.